All right. Good morning. Good morning. How we doing, guys? December 3rd, Wednesday, something like that. Close enough. Day 200, 341 or 2, I don't know, somewhere in there. So what is going on? Pop in the chat. Let me know how you're doing on a scale of 1 to 10. Just shared on Facebook that I'm live, so maybe a few guys get that message and join me. There's Locke Johnson. We're on the trigger. You're like the uh, quickest one, Lock, every day. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for the support. I hope I look a little bit more rested today. I certainly feel it, although I didn't check what I got for a sleep score. We'll check that out here. Let the ring update a little bit. Usually, sometimes first night in a hotel, sleep pretty well. Get as it goes on, maybe not so good. But Jess Novak, Brad Birch, good to see you guys. Thanks for jumping on. I appreciate it. Yeah, buddy. A 70 on the sleep score. Not too shabby. Good morning, Jubal from New Mexico. Good to see you, bud. Dave Howard coming in. Nice to see you guys. How you doing on a scale of 1 to 10? What is happening? We're closing in. When I first started hashtag live 365, I was like, that's a lot of days, right? A lot of days in a row, a whole year. But man, it's gone by quickly, and we're into the 340s, and it's just crazy. It's crazy to think that in not so many days we'll be hitting that 365 goal. I did a talk yesterday at our 2-day takeoff event. I was talking about the standard and how this is the standard. It's not a goal to go live and try to go live every day. It's a standard. It's what we're doing. So good morning, Bubba Hogan. Good to see you, bud. It's a good week when you get to have dinner a couple times with Bubba. So we had a good dinner last night at Winchies. Do you call it One-Cheese or Winchies? I don't know. It was great. Brought some new clients out with us. We had a great day yesterday, and just brought the fire all day. And Steve had a great bunch of talks, and I jumped on and did a little bit of my thing, and it was cool. So good to be involved, and had fun. So yeah, and Bubba's there. Bubba's always there in the back. I don't know if you saw my reel yesterday. Took a video of him. He left for a little while from his desk that he was at. I put a sign on it that said free stuff. I don't know if anybody took his stuff, but who's joining us next week for dinner? Right, exactly. Well, let's get after it, guys. Thanks for jumping in. I appreciate it. Day 342 or 1 or something like that. Hashtag live 365. So we're gonna have to come up with a new name after. I don't know. We'll do a Wendy goes, mm-hmm. So I woke her up early this morning. It's hard when you're in a hotel room, when you're trying to be quiet and then you just knock some shit over. You're like, oh, sorry, and then it's just so loud, right? Oh well, it's what we're doing. So it's all good, right? So, guys, today, day 10 of the 10-day series that I call the Contractor Sales Playbook. Okay, and you can insert any word in there instead of contractor. Really, if you're running a business, I should just call it the Entrepreneur Playbook. But contracting is probably where I have most of my experience and background. So I try to pull from that, okay, and share a lot of things. And I mentioned this in the talk that I did yesterday. Was like I always say this because I don't ever want it to seem like that I just I feel like I'm all that in a bag of chips, because much of what I share with you guys I learned the hard way, okay, and learned how to do something better by doing it poorly to start with. Somebody's a 6. Roy's a 6. Oh my God, get on the phone. Good morning, Victor. How are you? Yeah, Dan Bennett, good morning. Appreciate you, man. Got your message yesterday. I think that's great stuff. So you got to get your brother on here. He texted me this morning too. So guys, sales isn't a transaction. It's a reputation. Okay. You don't win long-term by having the cheapest price. You just don't. Those guys go away. You don't win long-term by being the fastest or the loudest. Those guys go away too. You win long-term by becoming the trusted resource, the trusted contractor. If you're a contractor, if you're a real estate agent, if you're outdoor water feature person, company, become the trusted contractor. Because you're going to sell more, sell faster, you're going to sell at higher margins, you're going to attract better clients. The best part, being trusted is a choice. It's a choice, not an accident. People are deciding to do that. So today we're wrapping up this entire series on habits, behaviors, and beliefs that make you the contractor people return to year after year. And that's really all we tried to be. Good morning, Nick Needham. Joining after seeing your Black Friday video, loving your advice. Hey, good deal, man. Glad you're here. So yeah, back when I was doing contracting, people would say, "Hey, do you?" And I would say, "Yeah, we do that." And I'd run and find somebody who knew how to do that, right? But that's kind of how I got going, and I learned a lot that way. And I just wanted to be the guy that people called when they had a need. And and I think we were successful doing that. People would, I had certain clients who would call me for everything and just say, "Hey, Bob, we're thinking about," or, "Hey, do you know anybody that does?" Or, "Hey, can you come take a look at?" "Hey, it's not urgent, but when you're coming by, could you stop over and take a look at?" Okay. These are the people that never asked for quotes. They never asked for discounts. They didn't ask for a timeline to compare to the other guy. They didn't ask for breakdowns of every little detail. Why? Because I had become their trusted contractor. Okay. Not because I was the cheapest, not because I was perfect. God knows we made mistakes. But because I was consistent. All right. I communicated well. I showed up when I said I would. I fixed things that went wrong. And I treated their home, like a job site and a relationship. I used to say to the guys, it's not a job site, it's a home. Okay. Treat it as such. And I think we did that. So trust creates loyalty, guys. Loyalty creates referrals. We talked about this yesterday in our 2-day takeoff event about the importance of referrals. The average customer will refer 5.7 people to you if you do it right. Okay. Yeah, referrals create momentum. Momentum creates long-term success. Here we go, right? We want that momentum. So this is the game that most contractors never play, and the one that you need to master, all right? A lot of your work going down the road is going to come from people that you have already worked for, all right? Oftentimes, if we had 6 or 7 jobs going, 3 or 4 of them would be for people we had already worked for. So that told me we were doing the right things most of the time. Okay. Trust is earned through consistency, guys, not charisma. Okay. You don't need to be slick or flashy. You need to be consistent. Okay. Clients are going to trust contractors who show up on time, who communicate clearly, follow through, keep promises, protect expectations, lead the process, do what they say. All right. It's predictable behavior that builds trust, not personality. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it. Oh, Roy Dahl? I'm not. Oh, geez. Oh boy. Yeah, I didn't know that. We're gonna have to. No, just kidding. We love Roy. So, yeah, guys, trust begins long before they ever see the proposal. Right? Think about it. Think about the interactions that you have with people and the opportunities that you have to build rapport and trust. Okay, you earn trust by how you answer the phone, right? How you respond to messages, how you show up on a consult, how you ask questions and handle concerns and outline expectations and present your proposal, and how you respond to objections. The client is deciding if they trust you the entire time. They're literally interviewing you, not just at the end. Okay, lead well early, and that close we talked about yesterday becomes easy. And trust is built through through transparency, guys. Built through consistency as well, but transparency is one of your greatest competitive advantages. Deal people in. Say things like, "Hey, let me explain why we price this way. Hey, here's what could go wrong and how we'll handle it." I used to say to people, "Listen, we could probably sit here for another 4 hours and talk about what's going to go wrong when we start, but we won't come up with it." And sure enough, something would happen. And I'd say, that's when you're going to find out who you're working with as a contractor. Good morning, Josh Baker. Oh no, Nick Needham. You know Bubba as well. I should have warned you. They're in here. They're in here. Hey, here's what the realistic timeline looks like. So talk to people about this. Hey, here's how we communicate throughout the project. Set that expectation. Transparency eliminates fear. It's scary doing a big project. Okay, stuff like that. Good morning, Josh Baker. Maybe I already said that. Can't remember. Fear kills deals, guys. People are afraid they're not going to go with you. Okay. Trust requires boundaries and standards. I talked a lot about standards yesterday. Trusted contractors have standards. They don't tolerate disrespect or chaos or unclear scopes, late payments, vague expectations, unreasonable demands. They protect their time, their schedule, their crew, their margins, their sanity. Boundaries build respect. Respect builds trust. Trust is reinforced after the job is signed. Okay. This is where the amateurs fall apart. They get the contract signed and they disappear. They don't mind the gap. Okay. They don't communicate weekly. They don't send updates. They don't confirm timelines. They don't handle changes proactively. They just do the work and then hope they get paid for a change order later. They do a walkthrough before the final payment, make sure everything's taken care of. They follow up after the job's done. They send a thank you. They stay connected. Maybe they check back just before the 1 year is up and see if there are any warranty issues. Good morning, Dustin. Good morning, Bill Gustafson. Good to see you guys. Yeah, appreciate it. So most contractors disappear after the deposit. Simple as that. Okay. Pros stay present all the way through and after, whether they did a good job or not, whether the subs showed up or not, whether the subs, made them look badly, which just happened. Okay. They show up and they own it. Okay. That's how you maintain trust. And trust turns clients into referrals. That's the secret sales engine, guys. The trusted contractor gets referrals, gets repeat business, gets long-term clients, effortless sales. They're not shopping you. And guess what? You get a higher margin. You get a higher margin. Well, people trust you. The sales cycle shortens dramatically. Okay. The vetting process gets shortened. Okay. You become just call Bob, just call Bob first person, right? That's the goal. That's really the goal. Hey, we want to be the guys that when something comes up at your home or your office or whatever, just give us a buzz. If we don't do it, we know somebody that does. And that's what we tried to be with people. So ask yourself, where am I the most consistent? And where am I the most inconsistent? Do I communicate like a trusted contractor or like a rushed contractor? Am I in and out? Right? What part of my process builds the most trust? What part breaks trust? Where's the exposure? Okay. Lastly, what habit could I improve this week to build more trust? Guys, look in the mirror. I posted a Andy Frisella thing I was posting reels this morning, just things that I liked and resonated with me. And talking about looking in the mirror, So look in the mirror and ask yourself, what habit could I improve this week to build more trust? Okay. So here's some action steps for you guys. Choose one. I always say don't try to boil the ocean. Don't try to fix everything overnight. Pick one thing to do this week, today, whatever. Follow up with at least 3 clients. Maybe that's today. No, don't try. Do it. Review your communication standards. What is your communication standard? What is your client experience promise? What can people expect in moving through your ecosystem, if you will? Upgrade one part of your business that feels sloppy. Like, we're kind of crappy at this. Let's own that, figure it out, and do it better. Just small shifts, guys. Small shifts, big trust gains. Okay, those are the things. All right, those are the little things. If you pay attention to them, that other people ignore, it's going to be the separator. Trusted contractors win, not just in sales, in business and referrals. In reputation and in longevity. All right. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be present. Okay. You need to be consistent. You need to be clear. You need to be able to lead. When you do that, clients are going to choose you over and over and over again. Okay. Pop a fist pump in the chat if this meant something to you today. If it resonated with you. Nick, I'm glad you showed up. Dustin, good to see you. Yin, good to see you here. Bubba, thank you very much. Pick one thing, then go hard in the paint doing it. Wendy's here. She'll love that one. That Bubba said that. Go hard in the paint. We were talking about that at dinner. Wendy's got a lot of those sayings. Pop a fist pump or a foot or whatever in the chat if this resonated with you, if you picked up a nugget from this. Guys, this was just wrapping up an extremely powerful 10-day run through the essentials of contractor sales. Not theory, not fluff. Real world sales leadership stuff in the trenches from somebody who's done it and not done it well at times. I did it pretty well at times too. Whether you caught all 10 days of the live, you're just playing catch up. I'm going to recap things for you right now to bring the whole system together. Okay, and you can catch these all on YouTube and see what see if one of these catches you. Just grab it on YouTube. They live on Facebook for, I think, 30 days. But day one, we talked about knowing your numbers, right? You can't sell with confidence if you price with confusion, all right? When you know your overhead, your labor burden, and real profit targets, everything changes, okay? There's clarity in the numbers, all right? And that's going to equal clarity in the conversations you're having, okay? Yin, thank you for sharing it. Hey, Nick, if you like this today, share it out, please. I love that. That's all I ask from people that jump on. If you like it, share it. If you don't want to share it on your page, hey, maybe send it to somebody that you think might be able to benefit from it. So, hey, day two, we talked about the pre-qualification process and that advantage, right? Because time is your most valuable asset. Pre-qualification lets you focus on serious buyers. Okay, set the expectations early and avoid the time wasters. This one step alone will change your calendar and your close rate. All right, you'll get some of your time back. Okay, there's clarity in the numbers. Say it to me again. Yeah, for sure. And Locke, we want to find out how that went for you yesterday, but I'm going to run through these days first. Okay, so we thought on day three we talked about the consult, running an elite consult. Okay, sales is leadership, not pressure. When you show up prepared, ask powerful questions, and lead the conversation, clients trust you instantly. It's that simple, guys. This is where 80% of the sale is won or lost, right? Day four, we talked about scripting the consult and that words win, okay? A clean consult script removes awkwardness and builds consistency, guys. Your tone, your pacing, and questions create that buying environment long before the proposal ever hits the table. These guys are interviewing. They're deciding if they want to go with you. Okay. And you're getting a look at them too. All right. There's a little bit of a dance going on here. Okay. Day five, we talked about confidence over discounts, your pricing story, not sharpening your pencil. All right. If you don't believe in your price, your clients never will. So stop apologizing. Stop discounting. Your price reflects your standard. Okay. Not your insecurity. So stop discounting. Day six, we talked about presenting the proposal and how clarity sells. A confused mind says no every single time. We talked about stop emailing the proposals and going to Hope Island and hoping for the best, right? Present them with leadership. Present them in person, whether it's Zoom or go back to the house. Hey, I got some things. I just want to go through this. There's a lot here. Clarity, calm confidence. When the client understands the value, the price makes sense. And again, you get another opportunity to distinguish yourself from the other guys. One more touch. All right. Day seven, we talked about handling objections like a pro, because objections aren't rejection. They're information. They're a buying signal. Slow down and listen. Ask curious questions. Stay in the inquiry every single time. The contractor that stays calm and leads through uncertainty is going to earn trust every single time, and you're going to close more deals. All right. How do you close more deals? On day eight, we talked about following up, just simply following up and how it converts. Money is made in the follow-up. Very rarely are people buying from you on that first call, right? Exactly. Like I said, money's made in the follow-up. Pros follow up with clarity, not pressure. It's not, you got to do this today. Oh, we only have one slot left on our schedule. No, just follow up. Keep a rhythm to your follow-up program, okay? That's going to separate you from 95% of the contractors instantly. Have a follow-up process, an SOP that you go by. Hey, on day one, we do this. On day two, we do this. Day three, we do this. A week out, we hit them with this. Okay, we talked about that stuff. Day nine, yesterday, we talked about closing the deal and not sounding salesy. All right, closing's not pressure. All right, it's guidance. You're there to guide people. Okay, if you've led well, the close is simply the next logical step. You're guiding people through a process that they want to go through. You're the leader. Clear next steps make yes easy. Make saying yes easy. Okay. And day 10, we talked just now about becoming that trusted contractor, playing the long game. All right. Trust is built through consistency, communication, boundaries, leadership. When you become the trusted contractor, everything gets easier. People are going to flock to you. You're going to be working for people you've worked for before. Sales, referrals, pricing, margin, growth, all that stuff becomes a lot easier. Okay. So big takeaway, guys, is selling as a contractor. It's not about charisma or pressure, tactics, secret things, being the cheapest, trying to beat the competition. It's about leadership. When you lead, the client trusts, the process feels clean, you feel good about what you're doing, the decision becomes easy, the close happens naturally, okay? And the relationship becomes long term. So, this, what I've presented in the last 10 days, if you take this and use it, it's going to become uh, what helps you create those long term relationships, okay? And it's going to help separate you, the pro, from the amateurs. All right. So again, pop a fist pump in the chat if this helped you. It's been a killer 10 days. I got another exciting one starting tomorrow for you guys. We're just going to keep going. All right. We're just going to keep going. And I appreciate you guys being here. Baba says an SOP is not to be confused as an SOB. That's right. It is an SOB doing SOPs, right? Good morning, Eric Fortenberry. Good to see you here. Guys, Eric's here all the time. And Eric created JobTread. And he's a good friend of mine. We're going up to JobTread Connect in January for their conference. And guys, if you haven't checked it out, you got to get there. I was one of, I don't know, I'm going to claim probably first couple hundred customers, Eric. Maybe it was even earlier than that. But I've watched these guys grow, and it's just been fun. And I'm coming up. I'll be up there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Eric. So maybe I'll pop in the office Friday if you guys are around. Say hello. But I just love these guys, and I love what they're doing. I love their team, their customer service. If you're a contractor and you're not using JobTread software, you're missing out. Okay, because I've used Buildertrend, I've used Co-Construct. In fact, I had all three basically on my desk at the same time and went with JobTread. So can't say enough good about those guys and how they handle people and the things they're doing in the marketplace. Yeah, probably, Eric, are you guys at 9,000 customers yet? You're probably getting close. When I was there last month, you were 84, 8,500. So cool stuff. So anyway, and you guys are doing boot camps, guys. If you want to learn how to use JobTread, hit me up. I'll get you connected with these guys. It's just good stuff. So nearly 9,000. That's great. Yeah. Baba says they're great. So Nick Needham, good to see you on here, man. I don't think that we've met, but I'm glad to have you here. I hope you come back tomorrow. I hope you share it out. Locke Johnson, Yin, thank you for your comments. Tim Catroni is here. Good to see you, brother. I miss you. Victor Anthony, Rachel, all you guys. Roy Dahl with the Ducks. Man, come on now. Good to see you guys here. Bubba says go hard in the paint. Dustin, we have been using nice jobs as a follow-up for reviews. I'm sure you could implement that for referrals. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, if you can automate it, do that kind of thing. It's an exciting time to be in the trades and be a contractor with the stuff that's available. Like, think about it. Like, I used to have to create an Excel spreadsheet for my proposal, and then I have to go over to Microsoft Word, retype all that stuff, and here's what's included, here's what's not included, forget something, get burned on the back end because I didn't include it, or I didn't copy paste from one thing to the other. And so now it's easier to be better. All you have to do is avail yourself to some of this stuff that's out there. And just go with it. Okay. So I'm just scrolling through the comments real quickly. Sorry if I didn't get a chance to read them all today. Yeah, the pond world is very small. And Bubba and I are working hard, Steve as well, to try to kind of break into that pond industry and get in front of some of these guys that need coaching. And all too often we run into, whether it's a carpenter or a pond builder, a GC or whatever, that's a real craftsman. And they just decided to work for themselves because somebody else was not doing a good job running the company. They said, I can do this myself. They do that, but they didn't necessarily want to learn how to do QuickBooks or have to deal with, they didn't know what SEO was. And they didn't know that all of a sudden they were going to have to create an employee handbook and talk about when they might have an exit and all the things. They just want to do the work. They just want to have a company. And they don't have any guidance. And I can't imagine where I would be today if 25, 30 years ago I had a coach. So if you're looking for coaching or you need some guidance, hit me up, DM me. If you can't figure out how to get a hold of me, we got a problem, right? I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. Here, we're posting stuff on YouTube all the time. So anyway, guys, this was fun today. I appreciate the comments. Get a little fired up sometimes, and that's cool. I want you guys to feel the passion that I have for not just for coaching and speaking and presenting, but just pouring in and helping you guys avoid some of the mistakes that I made. Like, again, I don't come from a high horse or standing up on top of the mountain looking down. If I'm higher than you on ahead of you on something, this is me reaching back and pulling you along and slinging you forward. Okay. And I hope you all do way better than I ever did at Contractor. And if I have a little piece of helping you with that, then I'm good. So anyway, please share it, guys. Share this out. We're going to get some breakfast and head over to, it's called Hucksite Hall, where we do our 2-day takeoff event. We crushed it yesterday. Today's day 2, where we have to go hard in the paint, as Bubba says, and dig in. Steve shares a ton of great stuff today, and it's just going to be great. So we're going to go from here to tomorrow. Wendy and I are going to pop up to Dallas, and on Friday night we are going to go to Billy Bob's. So they've been asking for me over there. Yeah, right. We're going to go to Billy Bob's, have a good time, and try to get in and out of there without pissing off any Cowboys, and have fun. So, and then Sunday we're going to come back down to Houston, and Monday and Tuesday we'll do our 2-day. We have what we call ground school for all of our coaching clients inside the Rosenberg community. So it's going to be cool because we're going to see all the people that we get to work with on the weekly basis, on the daily coaching call, the DSA, the weekly coaching call, group calls, and all that. So it's going to be awesome. So I'm having a ball. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I want to thank my brother Rick and sister-in-law Sherry for taking our dogs. They're out to get videos of them out running around in the snow today. They're the kids, so they're well cared for, and we're very fortunate to be able to have somebody to take care of them when we go. So ooh, Wendy, did you guys hear that? Wendy's playing Instagram videos in the background. So anyway, guys, go have a great day. Make it a great one. If you need me, reach out to me. I love you all. Have an awesome day and rest of the week, and I'll be right back here tomorrow, same time, same station, with a new 10-day series. Talk to you soon. Take care. Hope it was helpful.